Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships and Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are taking our very first look at the Tier 6 Russian cruiser, the Shchors. So, that being said, let's look at our commander, Nikolai Kuznetsov. We are running Norman Scott and Philip Valiant as our commander inspirations. We have Beyond Range, Igniter, Velocious, Fixated, and EOP. And we are running Aiming Systems Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 2, and Steering Gears Mod 3. And we are fully upgraded. Let's look at our loadout. We have the radar selected instead of the plane. I'm running the community contributor flag, and then I'm just running a Regia Marina camo. We have 32,200 hit points. No torpedo reduction. It's always nice. Main batteries are 152mm guns. You have 12 of them. They reach out to 17.5 kilometers, reload in 8 seconds, so not too shabby. 180-degree turn time, slow but not super slow, 25 seconds. HE shell damage of 1932 with a fire chance of 7.5% because I am running Equilibrium of Power. If I wasn't running Equilibrium of Power, it'd be 15%. AP shell, 3,400. And secondary armament, you have 8 100mm guns that reach out to 4.7 kilometers and reload in 3.8 seconds and have a 4.5% chance to set fires. Torpedoes, useless, don't worry about them. 533mm quad launcher, you have one on either side of the ship. They reload at 101 seconds. They have 15,100 maximum damage. They have a 1.4 kilometers torpedo detectability. They have 70 knot top speed and a 4 kilometer, yes that's correct, 4 kilometer torpedo range. You will almost never use these torpedoes. Maneuverability, 36.6 knots with our current build. Turning circle is 900 meters and rudder shift time of only 4.2 seconds. But don't let that fool you. It might have a quick rudder shift after we use 2 steering gears, but it is still absolutely abysmal to try to turn and dodge shells in these things. They just don't like to move. Detectability by sea is 12.9, which is not good for a cruiser. Detectability by air, 8.1, and guaranteed is always 2. 6.9 while firing in smoke. Armor. As you can see, there is no armor. You have 16mm of bow and stern plating. You have a raised citadel that is above the waterline and runs the entire length of the ship from the front gun to the rearmost gun. So it is very, very susceptible to being citadeled from pretty much everywhere. Sure shot. Shells with a good ballistic trajectory maintain velocity, making aiming easier. Pyromania, above average chance for HE to cause fires. And compromising. Higher caliber AP shells may overpin the armor, but may still arm depending on shell velocity. Shchors. This ship was designed as a light squadron escorting cruiser, Project 28. She boasted a high speed and powerful artillery, but was inferior to foreign counterparts of her time in armor protection. She was designed in 1937. So let's take a look at her. Not a bad looking ship. But you guys know me, I am not a fan of fire starters. I hate them. Which is why I have put off playing these last 2 Russian lines for so long. I'm not interested in playing them. So, with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we are going to be on Sea of Fortune, and we are not alone. We got my good buddy Peak with us. He is in the Benson. And we're going to try to work together in this one, and then things are going to go horribly wrong. So, hopefully you guys are ready. Now, I'll be real honest. You guys know I hate fire starters. And the reason I haven't played these last couple lines of the Russian cruisers and the Russian destroyers is I can't be less interested in them. They're not my playstyle. I don't enjoy it. I think it's a boring playstyle, and it's not rewarding whatsoever. And personally, you just can't carry very well in these things. They're too fragile. So, yeah, it's just not a good ship. I don't enjoy them. But the good news is, we finally got a match that I think you guys will enjoy, even though it's not a good match whatsoever. It's just a better match than I've had recently. So, hopefully you guys are ready. I know I've sold it so well. You guys are so excited for it. But, no. In all seriousness, I just want to say thank you guys. Just checked our YouTube statistics for the month of March, and this was our best month ever. So you guys know me. I always try to outdo myself each month, and it's always nice that we're able to do that. And considering that we did that in a month where I took time off is even better. So thank you guys. Couldn't do it without you. You guys are fantastic. And we're already over 30,200. Like, we just hit 30,000 the day before we went to vacation. So you guys are killing it. And I do appreciate you. Now, I've put it off all this time. Everybody keeps begging me, Spartan, when you gonna do the Russians? When you gonna do the Russian cruisers? When you gonna do the Russian destroyers? I don't want to do it. It's just not fun to me. Like, I don't understand why anybody would put themselves through this. There are better ships out there. They're not good ships. They're just not. There isn't a single thing that the Russian cruisers can do that there isn't other ships that do and do better. So that's why I'm like, it's not really something that I'm real interested in playing. But in the interest of trying to get a Russian theme week together, I figure I need to try to get all of the Russian tier 7s. So I have to go through the Russian destroyers and Russian cruisers to do that. And so we'd already done the tier 4 and tier 5. So naturally, we're on tier 6, and this Benson has just royally go. So I had already told Peak that I was coming around the corner, I was going to light this guy up, so we were both ready for him. And sure enough, we've got him dead to rights. Now remember, the radar does not last that long. It only lasts for 15 seconds. And isn't even like the super long range radar that you get with other Russians. It's only 9 kilometers. So yeah, it's definitely not a good radar. But, you know, is what it is. We do manage to take out the Benson right off the bat, which is huge. And this one is this is where things go horribly wrong. Now, there is a battleship to my rear left. And he's going to completely ruin our plans here. Just completely throws a wrench right in our plans. And what our plans was, initially I was looking to reverse and get shots on this Devonshire if he was going to push into Bravo. I figure if he's going to push in, I'll have AP loaded. I can get rid of him really quickly. That's when Peak says, nah, he's reversing now, so we go ahead, scrap that idea, and get ready to engage battleships, which is not what I want to be doing, especially at these sorts of ranges. If I'm engaging battleships in this thing, I want to be at almost maximum range, because I need all the room in the world to dodge the incoming rounds. Now, of course, I ask Peak to go ahead and set up a smoke screen so that I can go kite mode, and of course, this is the moment that the friendly battleship decides he needs to come right out around me and screw me over. Luckily, I get just far enough behind the smoke screen that I disappear. I did take a hit, and the hit wasn't even meant for me. That was actually meant for the battleship. But, you know, you gotta love it. Kuznetsov is then going to sit in our smoke screen. Now, he just fired his guns, meaning he is still detected. But he's going to try to sit in our smoke screen, and that is just going to make this smoke screen that much more of a torpedo magnet, because there are still destroyers close by, as you see with the Mayhem. So yeah, we take a shot into the Mayhem, we do some damage. He's going to drop all of his torpedoes into us here, and I was trying to use my teammate as a torpedo defense, and he decides to back up. Luckily, he does take one, which keeps me from taking that one. But we do manage to dodge the torpedoes for the moment. And then we've got the Mutsu coming around the corner, and I'm not going to lie, Peak's about to have a bad day. He just dumped all of his torpedoes and missed all of his torpedoes. The Mayhem has turned all the way back around and dropped the torps off the other side. Luckily, he's firing a widespread. So, easiest torpedoes to dodge in the world. And so, I'm going to go ahead and drop torpedoes, even though I know this guy is out of my range. You can see he's right on the edge of 4 kilometers. I'm going to go ahead and think about dropping him. Then I'm going to go ahead and try to set him on fire. Now, he's definitely inside range to spot me, even though I'm in the smoke, so not preferable. Luckily, he's got those World War I shells, which are absolutely abysmal. We get a fire right off the bat, and then I'm going to switch to AP because it is a Mutsu. He doesn't have much in the way of armor, so I'm hoping that I can do some serious damage to him. And sure enough, we get a pretty solid hit with the AP. And so we're going to get a couple more hits. We're trying to hit that bow armor, and you can see Peak manages to take out the Mayhan, but immediately goes down to the Getty. Now, again, we take another hit here from the Mutsu. No big deal. The Mutsu's shells are absolutely abysmal. So we get pretty fortunate there. Meanwhile, we're chunking him pretty good with the AP. But he's starting to turn into bow tank us. However, the Kuznetsov is ready to finish him off. He managed to take a torp. We do hit a good shot into the superstructure. He's already burning, and he's going to flood to death by the Kuznetsov's torpedo. Now, we are still detected here. So I go ahead and pop my radar, and I popped this radar a little too early. I thought the guy was closer than he was. But I was wrong. So that was a waste of a radar. And it's a radar that I could have used here in a moment. You'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. Now, this is still anybody's ball game. It's a 4v4. We have 2 battleships. They have a battleship and 2 cruisers. They have a destroyer still, so that my main goal here is to try to get rid of this destroyer. Now, I know the destroyer is near me, but I don't have sonar, and I don't have radar available. I look to see exactly what I'm up against, and I realize it's a Getty. So I'm not too worried about the destroyer itself. And I know that I should be able to close the distance and hopefully get him out of here. Because he started capturing Charlie, I know exactly where he's at. Well, I say I know enough of where he's at to find him. Now, I don't run the intuition on this ship. So just keep that in mind. I am running the extra fire chance because I run EOP. I need all the extra fire chance I can get. But we do get some good shots already into the Getty. He's firing at us. He's going to go ahead and throw up his smoke. And this is where I could have really used that radar. But unfortunately, not going to be the case. Now, we get turned in, and we just narrowly escape taking a torpedo right there. But remember, this thing doesn't have any torpedo defense, or at least not according, or torpedo reduction according to the game. Now, I'm not firing my guns anymore. So I'm going to be able to go dark, and even though we are on fire, he can't see us anymore. And he's not running his sonar, so he can't detect us with his sonar, which is helpful. Now, the more astute among you could have probably pointed out that as I was coming in and I was shooting at him, I could have launched my torpedoes. He's right in that neighborhood of being in close enough range for the torpedoes. But I completely write off the torpedoes on this. Now, we finally get our sonar back. We get him spotted. You can see I know he's trying to get behind that island, and then he makes a critical error. I'm trying to shoot through the gap, and I do manage to hit him. But you can see I'm hitting a lot of shells into the island as well, just trying to get these shells to go to him. This is where that lack of firing over things comes into play. And we get that fire on the last shot that I'm able to hit him with. And that finishes them off. And that's huge. Now we've got a 4 versus 3. And my team is going to do everything in their power to throw this match. And I'm not going to make the best decisions myself. Okay? There are a couple decisions here that I'm going to make that are kind of not the brightest in the world. But we do have an Atlanta out here. He is absolutely begging for it. We've got HE loaded, which is fine, because we've got EOP and HE. These are going to absolutely shred this Atlanta. We don't have a good enough angle to use the AP on him anyway. But the biggest issue that I have with these is most cruisers are pretty accurate. And this tends to spread out a lot more than most cruisers. The shells just tend to not stick close to one another. And that causes you to miss a lot of shells. And so I know, what was it, the Ochakov? I said I should probably go back to or get off of using the EOP because of the lack of fires. But honestly, when I ran without EOP in this thing, I was miserable. Like, you don't, not only do you get fires, okay, you get fires, but they put them out. You can't reset the fires, it seems like, and then you're doing 0 damage to people because every shell that you hit them with shatters. It's abysmal. So that's why I personally run the EOP. Now, I had AP loaded expecting this Atlanta to just barge around the corner. Unfortunately, he plays it smart. He actually stops, runs into the island. And that provides him a little bit of a longer life for the moment. Now, our detection is 12.9 kilometers. That Warspite's at 12.2. The fact that I'm pulling out in front of him right now is stupid. Don't do this. This was a terrible play. At any moment, this Warspite could get loaded, fire his guns, and absolutely end me. We're only 12 kilometers away, and the Warspite has phenomenal AP, especially against cruisers. And, yeah, we get very fortunate to not be removed right there. That's how close we came to losing this match. Now, we did manage to capture the second base, so we're going to maintain our lead, and we are going to continue to expand our lead points-wise. And so, I'm going to use this island as best I can to keep shooting this Warspite. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was running into a lot of server lag tonight. I had a lot of moments where the server just wasn't doing well. I didn't get disconnected or anything like that, but the server just kept, like, stuttering real bad. I don't know if you guys were having that issue tonight or not, but I'm not the only one that was having the issue, I know that. Warspite, we did get a fire on him, which is nice, but we're going to try to get rid of him still. We're not going to just sit there and let the fire do its thing. We're going to try to keep shooting him because he's continuously reloading and he's still shooting at my teammates. And he is the last guy alive, so if we can finish him, that's a GG. Now, we've got 83,000 damage right now. We've done pretty well. This is not a barn burner game for any standard, but it was a solid game overall, and I think it showcases this ship pretty well. In all ranges, whether it's long range, short range, the weaknesses of the ship, the strengths of the ship. But personally, I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the Russian cruisers. I don't enjoy the Russian destroyers other than Kaba. Kaba's fantastic. But yeah, it's just not for me. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. 2,640 base XP, Peak coming in second, even though he died really early. 87,000 damage done, 4 fires, 2 kills. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.